Phantom Sounds Production. What up, sound?
Discussions and nothing is off the table in the Red Room Talk. Last episode, if you missed us, that is okay. You can find us on YouTube by clicking the link in my profile and subscribing. Last week we talked about romantic relationships, but this week we are going to discuss men and women with the topic toxic masculinity versus toxic femininity. Tonight in the Red Room, we have an all-star cast, y'all. We have G-Way No Way, Top Badge, King of Diamonds, Empress J, and Queen B. Let's find out how the panel feels about the toxic side to the opposite sex. Please, all of you who are here, stick around till the end. We are going to need all of you to weigh in later. Before we get started, all that I ask is you keep your mind open and your language clean. First things first, I'm going to let y'all in the box to introduce yourselves, and then we will get started.
You.
Hi, everybody.
What up? What up?
Hey.
Hey, girl.
These queens in here.
Yeah. Hey, RDS girl.
What up? What up? What up?
Yeah. Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Red Room. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful night, but I am thanking you guys all for being here. So first things first, of course, we are polite here in the Red Room. You know, we got manners. So I'm going to let the ladies go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let us know what you got going on, any content that you have, and then we'll go on to Mr. King. Go ahead, Empress.
Happy Empress.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Empress J. Y'all excuse me because I'm a little fluttered. I just got out the hospital, but I'm good. We're here. We're loud and proud. Hello. I do have a feature show every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Living Holistic with Empress J. I also have a show with King of Diamonds. Is one of the co-hosts as well. The Roundtable every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So y'all make sure y'all tap into that and hit me with the fave because I would definitely fave y'all back. Thank you, Jen, for having me.
That part. What's up, everybody? I am Queen B Vibes. I don't have much going on, but I do stream randomly throughout the week. You got a better chance of catching me on the weekends because that's normally when I'm free. Other than that, you can catch me in some of your favorite streamer streams. I'm in the box, in the comments, having fun, talking smack all the time, and just catch a vibe when you catch me.
Okay.
Yeah, parts just like that. Shout out to the ladies up in here. My name is King of Diamonds. You can call me Kingy. I got a lot going on the app. You know, collaborate. It's a blessing to be in the room with y'all wonderful people right now. Shout out to everybody up here. Shout out to the host, my twin and co-host, my brother in this thing. You know, it's a blessing to be here. Thank y'all for having me. If you want to know more, hit me with the fave and follow my social medias and all that. Let's tap in. Let's work.
And of course, if you don't know me, you can get to know me. I go by G-Way, but if you really know me, you're going to say G-Way No Way. I'm here every Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also catch me on Monday doing Hood Feud at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, I'm on Cut the Beat with Jen at 10. Wednesday, coming soon. I'm about to bring the sports block back. Thursday, I'm with my boy down there, my brother from another brother, King of Diamonds, on the longest running musical showcase show on this app. Had to cough twice to make sure y'all heard me. But also you can catch me on Friday with my new show, Battle of the Zodiacs, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So pull up on me, hit the fave. You don't know me until you get to know me.
Well, hello, everybody. I am the host, Jen and Juice. You can find me here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern
right.
Standard Time, y'all. She's like
I
Saturday.
tried. I can't do it.
I'm fine.
Saturday. Okay. Then you can find me every Tuesday on Cut the Beat. Every Thursday you can find me on Getting Lit as one of the judges on my twin show, Getting Lit Studio. That's a Getting Lit Studios production. Getting Lit. Make sure y'all tap in. And then pretty much late nights into early mornings or anytime in between. But we're gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. You ready? Okay. Toxic masculinity and toxic femininity. This is so. I'm having so much trouble saying this together so many
Femininity.
times. Femininity,
I
okay,
can say that, but I
are
can't say
embodied
Saturday.
by men and
I just
women
did it. I just did it.
who attempt to maintain gender norms and hierarchy to maintain their position. That is their value. In our societies, toxic femininity is made up of the whole spectrum of gender-based norms which have existed for centuries, designed specifically to maintain a system with men in the dominant role presented by women. Toxic masculinity refers to the notion that some people's idea of manliness perpetuates domination and aggression. The idea that men need to act tough and avoid showing all emotions can be harmful, whereas toxic femininity is a concept that restricts women to being cooperative, passive, sexually submissive, gentle, while deriving their value from physical beauty while being pleasing to men all at the same time. Toxic femininity is highly dangerous because it puts women constantly in the position of needing approval. But I want to start at the root of defining. I want to know from the opposing sides, for women, what does masculinity mean to you? And for the men, what does femininity mean to you? And what traits do you consider to be masculine and or feminine? Oh, I'm just going to pick now. Queen, I want you to go first because you're looking real scared real quick. So
Say it one more
I
time.
have to
Make sure
go
I heard it
first.
correctly.
Wasn't really scared, just more of how I'm gonna put my words together. Masculinity, for me, oh man, that sense of independence that you have as a man, just being strong, fearless in a sense, being able to carry that weight that our black men have. I'm just being specific with that. Knowing how to carry yourself in that role and hold your crown and wear it high. And be proud of what you are, what you have, everybody around you. That's masculinity to me.
Well, my idea of masculinity is being in that role of being able to protect, being able to lead, guide, being a teacher. Um, the masculine energy is very big and very heavy on protection because masculinity is, even though both sex have masculine and feminine energy, we all have an energy that we're supposed to uphold to. And the man being of masculinity, he's supposed to uphold his position traits. So that would be my idea of masculinity, being able to be the leader, be the guider, the protector, the teacher. Like that's what comes with being in your masculine energy. And aggression, being able to really control your aggression, but knowing how to utilize it comes also in your masculine energy. That's my answer.
So King, what does femininity mean to you? What traits do you consider to be feminine? What is femininity to you?
Um, say like femininity to me is the total opposite of what Empress was saying as far as masculinity, femininity really is the opposite from the lead. Is more of a support type of role. It's more of a is a softer in tone. You know, when you think of masculinity, that's supposed to be like when you think of like you know, me, it's very manly, is but as far as like feminine, it's more on a softer tone with everything. And I feel like that's like something that you can't just turn on and off.
Right, you gotta just have that.
Yeah,
You gotta
that's
just
just
have
in
that.
you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just
that's
in you.
just in you. Cause some women, all women ain't ladies. I'm sorry to say that, but every woman is not a lady. Some women are not raised to be ladies. They raised to be
Raised,
warriors.
yeah, raised. Wives.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And for some of them is just warriors. Like
I'm done.
they don't know the softness. They just hard. I don't know why, but it's just Aztec warriors, the Amazons. But yeah, I gotta agree with Kingy on that pretty much in that shit though. But yeah, femininity is definitely the opposite. Someone who's soft, nurturing, kind.
Nurturing. Take
Uh,
up femininity right with like family and like the mother,
right.
and that's what you think of femininity as.
If it's okay, Jen, I just want to answer someone in the comments. Angel said, I mean, if we have both, do you think we act different ways in different situations? That is the thing. You're as a woman, you're only supposed to use your masculine energy when necessary. As a man, you're only supposed to use your feminine energy when necessary. You're not supposed to be in that energy at all times because then you're conflicting and you're causing issues.
Mm,
So yes, you would use
Right.
those in different situations. Yes, ma'am.
mm.
So I guess I kind of have the same kind of idea with what masculinity is to me. Is the protector. It is someone who makes you feel safe. The strength, the backbone to me of the relationship. The one who is supposed to protect and provide. And I don't mean just monetarily, but provide that safe space. Someone who is supposed to you're supposed to feel safe around them and protected um and the strength, you know, they're a pillar of strength to me. Like my mom said in the comments, the quiet storm. Like they're always there in the background, just waiting to protect. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's just what masculinity is. To be masculine is, it doesn't mean overbearing or overpowering or anything, but to be masculine is just to be like that pillar of strength to me is what masculinity is to me.
Mm.
um do y'all have anything to add? No. Okay.
Everything well said,
Okay. So if y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. We have so much more to come, y'all. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Red Room Talk, y'all. We just discussed what traits you consider to be masculine or feminine, but now I want to know about your experience. And I stay down. In 2018, a new phenomenon struck the world with such ferocity that the namesake became the 2018 Oxford English Dictionary Word of the Year. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, our corpus data shows that after chemical masculinity is the most used word in the conjunction with toxic this year. With the Me Too movement put a cross-industry spotlight on toxic masculinity and watershed political events like the Brett Kavanaugh Senate Judiciary Committee hearing sparking international debate. The term toxic masculinity has well and truly taken root in the public consciousness and got people talking in 2018. Other words shortlisted by the Oxford English Dictionary include gaslighting, incel, and BDE. And I'm not going to tell you what that means, but if you don't know, I'll tell you later. Later realizing that toxic femininity was also very real. So I want to know about your experience. Based on your experience, where does toxic masculinity and toxic femininity come from?
Mm.
Where does it stem from?
The
In my
upbringing.
opinion, I feel like if you were never taught something or if you didn't have guidance on something, then that's where it originates from. Like you have to be able to us as women, we have to be able. We're teachers, we're nurturers. Excuse me, we are
Mm-hmm.
very much so nurturers. We're supposed to be able to teach that softness to our ladies, to our young ladies, our girls, and our sons sometimes too, because they have to be able to know when to utilize their feminine as in being soft. Because one day they would have to nurture their children. So you know, it comes to me. It comes more from being that energy being taught to you and being shown to you, so you can know in what direction to move in. That's just my opinion.
Mm. She took the words right out of my mouth. I believe it starts at home. If you're not taught those characteristics, then I mean, how are you going to be able to utilize it or pass it on to others, like your children or your friends, or whoever the case may be? Because you can't teach I mean, you have to be able to teach a man how to be a man. Like, you have to have that role model. Same thing as a woman. Like she said, we're nurturers. We have to know how to be able to take care of this child. What's the best way to do this or get rid of that? As a man, you're supposed to take that home. Who are you going to look after to get that? At home. That's who they look to first. Parents. Maybe an aunt or uncle, grandparents. And who knows? If you get that from the outside, it may not be the way you turn out. Starts at home.
That's just like if you put a baby with a pack of wolves, right? And you haven't taught this baby how to live as a human because this baby was raised with a pack of wolves. So what the baby gonna do? The baby gonna walk on his four legs like a pack of wolves. Baby gonna bark and roar or whatever the pack of wolves do. The baby gonna do it too. The baby feel like he supposed to eat
Tarzan.
what the dog, what the
Tarzan.
wolves eat.
Georgia
You
the
feel me? Because
Jungle.
that's what that baby was taught.
Mowgli.
That's what that baby saw. So that baby thought this is how I'm supposed to move as a wolf because this is what taught me. So if it
Hmm.
was never shown or never given any direction, it'll never know which way to flow and follow. It'll never know. It's gonna go in the ways of what it sees and what it's taught to him. So yeah, like Queen, it's totally facts. I'm listening now.
Hmm.
All I got to say to that is, in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion
Yeah.
sleeps
And can we
tonight.
all,
I can't. Oh,
oh,
we know what.
oh,
Oh,
oh, we
we know
know
what.
it.
Oh,
We
we know
know
what.
it.
We know what.
Had to.
But it's definitely the upbringing. I gotta agree because she took it out my mouth and ran with the whole story that I was gonna say. It starts with your upbringing. Like I said on the last question, if you was raised to eat wolves, then you're gonna be eating wolves. If you was raised to eat rabbit, then you're gonna eat rabbit. I mean, it starts with the parent and the upbringing. So definitely agree with the ladies.
Nah, most definitely, I can agree with everybody. And I ain't trying to beat a dead horse because, like, yeah, we all be in agreement with it. But I mean, it is the upbringing. But then, not only the upbringing, it's like you have, those older people that are, not giving the right advice. So that's like a whole nother area. But yeah, I feel what y'all saying though, most definitely.
So I think it either comes from lack of self awareness, ego, insecurities, and self esteem issues. I think it's a combination of all of them. It's kind of like nature versus nurture. Um, Especially like for women, where toxic femininity comes in, I think a lot of it is, um, having either lack of a father or a lack of having a mothering role. And a lot of the times, people they become like for me. I know at some point, like I almost became so hyper independent from being single as long as I was, that it's like that toxic femininity to me came into play because I didn't want help from anybody at that point. I was just doing my thing. I didn't need anybody. You know what I'm saying? And then you almost start playing like the male role, and it gets tiring being Superwoman all the time when you're waiting for Clark Kent to come.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think you start to develop like, um, you know, to make up for what you're lacking in a partner, you kind of just have like that brick wall attitude. And the same thing for men. I think when they have like the lack of a father, and they just like they don't know how and where to start and stop, like the or to have healthy masculinity, to know what that looks like when you don't know what it looks like. So I think that's kind of where that stems from, or at least from my eyes. Like I mean, basically what y'all said, but it's just a combination of different things. Um, Anything else to add, y'all? So if y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. You haven't missed much. We still have a lot more to discuss, y'all. You can find us here every Saturday. You gotta say it right. At 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Red Room Talk. We just discussed what traits you would consider to be masculine and feminine. Where does toxic masculinity and toxic femininity come from? But now I want to know a little bit more. Okay. You might be surprised to learn that learn that the female majority in divorce filings isn't a modern phenomenon. Researchers looked at 25 different U.S. data sets. The oldest examined in the 9,937 divorces that took place nationwide in 1867 and found that 62% were filed by women. The researchers looked at different variables to understand why divorces tend to be filed by women. They suggest three main explanations. Overexploited wives who do the majority of the housework and parenting may feel that they have nothing to lose by leaving. Wives may have already benefited from the financial investments made by the husband, for example, paying for education, and no longer require his support. Wives expect to get and subsequently keep custody of their children. If they didn't, they probably wouldn't file for divorce. This by far the most statistically significant explanation. I have only one side of the story here, which is the problem because there's data showing that couples sometimes disagree about who really initiated the divorce. I wonder if underlying issues are in conjunction with tonight's topic. So, with how society is today, we look at men who show their feminine traits, for instance, being romantic or loving your woman, are looked at as being simps. But on the flip side, women who show masculine traits with hyper independence, i.e., I don't need a man, being raised to be independent versus being raised to be a wife. Do you think this is the biggest reason for lower success rate in relationships and marriages, and why?
Eee. Man, you really said it out there. I'm gonna go and get mine out the way for they, cause I don't want to get canceled too. Cause
I'll take the chance.
I'm gonna tread lightly. Um,
I am too, because that's
most
real. I'm
definitely
tread lightly on this
like,
Did I
subject.
go too deep? Was that too
yeah,
deep?
yeah, you got
Yeah.
But you
yeah,
got
yeah, you
to.
don't wanna,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
That
you
can
don't,
go really deep with that one there. That one
yeah.
can go
Like
Because
really deep.
me personally, a lot of that started from the separation in the home. Like when the father was separated from out of the home because of this, that, and the other, and a lot of feminism, feminism and all of that. So that's why I say it's a lot that go into that alone. And me personally, I'm gonna just stay at the tippy tip. Hello.
yeah, cause I can go in.
Kingy. I
But
gotta hear what Kingy's gotta say because he kind of sparked
I'm gonna
this.
say, it's a lot that goes into that. You know what I mean? And is the things aren't traditional anymore. People want traditional results, and that's the problem of what's going on. But just to get back to like just the main topic about the marriage or whatever, I just feel that that does come from more of a place of more of the independence or independent mindset in women in going to a marriage or whatever also or whatever. So yeah, 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 that we gonna, that's that, yeah, that's what that part is. Like I say, I'm gonna tread lightly around it, but yeah, you get where we're going.
Ugh. I mean, I'm trying to pick my words right here. Okay. Uh, I see where King is coming from with this. As far as those roles or it being the one of the main reasons that leads to divorce, I don't think that would be one of the top ones, but I feel in that sort of sense, I think that would come from like insecurity, if that makes sense. Like, how can I put
There
it?
you go.
Yeah, for that
There
aspect,
you
I think it would come from insecurity. Like, if you feel as though showing your feminine traits to your wife as being a simp, I don't believe in that. He may be comforting her in a sense, or just appreciating her in a way. That's nothing wrong with that. If I don't need a man, if that's how you're going into it, then you're not going to allow that man to be a man to you. That has to stem from something different. So there is a lot of things that can break up a home. Or I for one think it would have been like communication. That can be an issue too. Because you feel this way, or I don't need a man, or you feel like I'm being a simp because I'm catering to your needs. That
all
can
right.
cause an issue if you see where I'm coming
I
from.
I get all that, but then at the end of the day, it's like still, like she said, the studies show, and you can just easily look it up. It's more so the women that are in these marriages. They are in these relationships versus how they used to do before it was set in place for when a woman gets the children, they get all this assistance and this, that, and the third, or whatever. And they, yeah. So that's what that's about, man. Like I said,
I'm gonna just put a bow on it and say things ain't what they used to be.
They not what
they not what they used to be. I think that's what we all trying to say in a nutshell. It's just not like it used to be.
A lot of people are like influenced by what they see. Like it's so many different. You look at people. People watch TV all day, every day, and on the TV, all they showing you is I don't need no man. And it's like, yo, who you think fix your car for you when you can't fix it?
Yeah,
a man.
Who
you think go and pick up your boxes or whatever? Like you got to think about it. Like it's been throughout there that we don't need men, and in reality, us as women, we do need men, just like men need women. It should be continuously taught that we need each other instead of being so big on separation. But people are easily influenced by that. So I think they play a major part. Just like that whole mental note of I don't need this or I don't need that. When in reality, you do. They're influenced by it.
That part. Yeah.
Because I know I need mine.
I need mine. I'm with you, Empress. Hello.
What do you got to say over there?
Period, Queen.
Because I know you ain't answered this time.
I just answered you. Who, me?
Yeah.
Jen. I love
you.
But I definitely said put a bow on it. You gonna stop being mute when it comes to my voice.
I swear you be hiding.
She do this to me at least once a week. She wait. I'm like, wait a minute. I already said something.
I think it's because I'm so used to you going before me that I'm like listening to them first. And then I just block you out apparently. But sorry.
Not too much on my Jen.
The streamer you have reached is no longer here.
So kind of to jump into, first I want to tackle like calling men simps, and I had a conversation where I had hurt someone pretty close to me by something I had said that they thought really made them look like a simp, and it made me sad because it's like, you know, just because if you're with a strong woman, it doesn't mean that you're a weaker man or that you're a simp. Sometimes you just have strong personalities. You know what I'm saying? Like some women are those, you know, just the goddess. She's a goddess. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think just because you're with a strong woman automatically makes you a weak man or a simp if you're loving on your woman. By all means, please love on your women. Okay? Please love on your woman. That is not a simp. It's called being a man. You're supposed to love on a woman. Or if not, then you're, you know, anyways. But you're supposed to love on your woman. And I noticed a lot of men, because someone had said it in the comments earlier, I don't remember who, but they had said they give more love to their homeboys than their own woman, and that's so true. Y'all will keep the same barber and be faithful to your barber for 20 years and be faithful to the same football team for 20 years. They ain't won a lick of nothing. But get worried about loving on yourself. I got a little loud.
Yeah,
but get worried about loving on your woman.
Right.
I feel like I got passionate for a second.
Feminist or something there.
Yeah, sorry. It came out.
The projection level.
I mean, y'all some feminists.
I feel like I'm a little strong.
I'm feeling that.
Toxic femininity right now.
Toxic femininity coming out of me.
Femininity going on.
I'm a bit offended.
Coming out of me right now, Lord.
Yeah.
But you know, y'all will be faithful to the same barber, the same football team. They ain't did nothing for you. Get say best up your hairline.
Stop with the negativity on our men. Hold women accountable the same way y'all hold these men.
So right now we're talking about toxic masculinity. Now hold on. Let me talk about the flip side. Hold up.
Yeah,
you better flip the map.
You better use.
Ain't looking good.
Hold on, Mutombo. Hold on. See, I knew this was gonna get y'all passionate, okay? But then we talk about like women and how I said like they're raised to be independent versus being raised to be a wife. Well, I'm going to tell you, I was raised to be a wife. I believe in serving my man his plate first before even the children. And a lot of women, especially, have disagreed with me and said his legs ain't broke, his hands ain't broke. But to me, your husband is your longest relationship out of that aspect. Your children are gonna grow up and move out of the home. You know what I'm saying? And then you're catering your whole life to these children. Not saying should not love your children. We all eat together. But I'm talking about serving your man first. He is the head of the household. He is the strength, the pillar, the provider, right? You want your man to be all of these things, but then you want to treat him like less than. If you want to be treated like a queen, you should dang well treat your man like a king. Now, as far as like the I don't need a man, because let's talk about it. I'm gonna just ask all the females in the comments, how many times have y'all heard one of your girls say, I don't even need a man, I got me something with batteries? Let's talk about it.
I'm gonna say
I don't need a man.
I hope your battery.
I can do it all on my own. Let's talk. I mean, really think about it. How many of you heard?
I hope something with batteries know how to change a tire around this thing.
Right.
And cuddle with you.
Does it whisper sweet nothings in your ear? But I've heard a lot of that, and that's like that's toxic. Like we are like what you want to completely push men out of the picture. And it's sad to me because there are good men out here. And a lot of the women that I hear say there's no good men is because you've never met one. It's you who's choosing the not good men. I can't say the whole thing, but was it Cat One? You need to figure out what it is about your that attracts men. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say. That. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, like I said, see, King, I wasn't just getting on the men. I do feel passionate because we're talking about toxicity right now. There's a lot of great men and there is a lot of beautiful women out there. But society is trying to separate us. It's the family dynamic, and society is trying to rule that so they can take over. That's what it is. Like if you separate the home, they got us right where you want us. Vulnerable women, like I said, the hyper independence. They don't need a man. Andy, what was that you said earlier? Mm-hmm. And it's separating the home. That's how you're breaking down the familial circle. It's sad. It's not right. But I think that it definitely contributes to lower success rates in relationships. If you got a woman, and I'm gonna tell you, I've been this woman who didn't want to allow a man to do things for me because later you could be like, well, you wouldn't have this if it wasn't for me. But you also got to have trust in your partner that they're not going to utilize those things, right? And you really have to understand that not everyone is the same. Maybe the last man did that. Not all men are like that. And if they are, then that's the man you chose that is like that. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to let your guard down and let your partner mess up. And I think that's something I even in my marriage messed up. I didn't allow him to be a man at times because I was so afraid that he was going to make the wrong decision. But sometimes people have to learn from doing the wrong thing. Mm. And if you don't allow someone to learn, that's how, like I said, you have to allow someone to make mistakes sometimes. If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. Mm-hmm. So if y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Red Room Talk, y'all. You have not missed it all. We still have more to discuss. We just discussed what traits would you consider to be masculine and feminine, where does toxic masculinity and toxic femininity come from, and the biggest reason for lower success rates in relationship. Now, moving on. In 2005, sociologists presented their findings on divorce. Found that when men said their wife's desire to end the relationship was stronger than their own, 6% of those ex-wives disagreed, saying it was their husbands who wanted the divorce instead. Conversely, when men said they were the ones with the greater desire to end the relationship, 16% of their ex-wives disagreed, saying they themselves wanted the divorce more. It's not just marriages. I also have data on breakups of long-term relationships, and the overall takeaway is the same. Women are more likely to dump a partner than to get dumped by one. But I want to know the reason behind this or where the disconnect began. So I'm going to give you a scenario. So you've been with your partner for 3 years. You have blended lives and invested a lot of money and time together. What would be the last straw of toxicity from your partner? What would be the last straw of toxicity? Where would you draw? Where do you draw the line?
Give me that scenario
Empress, I just
again.
looked at it. Okay, that you've been with your partner for 3 years. You have blended lives and invested a lot of money and time together. What would be the last straw of toxicity from your partner, either masculine and or feminine toxicity?
When you start
Where do
putting
you
your
draw the
hands on
line?
me, when you start putting your hands on me, the line is drawn. If you cannot control your anger to the point where you can keep your hands to yourself, it is time to go. I don't care how many years it's been. I can't stay there. I can't keep healing from them bruises and all that stuff. And that goes from both sides. You know what I'm saying? When you start putting your hands on that person, it's too much. It's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
You're at a different point and a whole nother level. It's time to go.
Yeah.
I agree. Like,
Yeah.
keep your hands off me. I'm gonna keep my hands out. Well, keep your hands off me, and someone reach out and bless you. Okay, just keep your hands to yourself. That's all I'm asking. We'll be all right. Okay, we'll be out. Because I feel like when you manifesting your person for you, y'all will learn how to sit down and communicate together on certain things. But like, if your aggression is that severe, where you have to put your hands on me, thinking that that's gonna regulate things for us, then yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and break them ties, baby. You got one time to put your hands on me. That's it. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. I went through it. I lost sleep. I was depressed. My child witnessed it. It was unbearable. It was emotionally draining, mentally draining, physically draining. It takes a lot out of you. So I had to think about myself first. I have to say myself. My child needs me. I'm the one he looks after, not just him, but for me myself. Because if I'm not happy, he's not going to be happy. That's draws the line. Period.
Appreciate the love. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, man, once it ain't no peace, then for me that's when it's time to, yeah, it ain't nothing I can do. If it ain't no peace and
And on the
and
cool, because I am a mother, as a mother, like the whole, if the putting your hands on my kids aspect, like this, if we haven't sit down and agreed to that, like my kids is very sensitive when it comes to my children. So if we can't have an understanding, not just the fact of putting your hands on the kids, but if we don't have an understanding with each other about the relationship between you and my kids, then yeah, that's a problem too. Like that's gonna have to get some grips. Like I can't be with somebody that can't accept my children. Like that's dead.
Facts.
True.
They co-sign that.
He said I co-signed. That was his answer.
Mhm.
Um,
That was a
I
good one.
answered first. I answered
I just
first.
teased it. I just teased it.
What were your antennas?
So the last straw, I think even more than just, like physical, but even like just degrading your partner when it comes down to like you're making them feel less than when it comes to like you're degrading your partner in some way, like, or or even almost like just like dominating. And I don't mean like in that aspect, but just like where you're just too domineering, where it's like you're constantly even as a woman walking on eggshells, or where it just starts to feel like not even that you're a woman, but you're just submissive in not a healthy way. Do you get what I'm saying? Where it comes to where you're just so submissive, that's like, I'm trying to think of a way to say this without cussing, because it'd be hard to, but just where you're so submissive, like you're almost cowering to them. You know what I mean? Where it's, I think that when it comes to a point where you're so submissive, like, because I've watched women almost roll over, like just roll over and just allow like the man to do anything. But I've also seen the opposing side where I did get physical, but it was a woman I watched putting her hands on a man.
That happens
I
too.
remember, and all this man did, I'll never forget it. We was in the grocery store, and he happened to turn, and a woman walked in his view. He did not look at the woman, but a woman walked in his view, and this girl like punched him dead in the square of his back, and I was like, just for looking. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm one of those women. If I see a donk or something, I'll be like, "Hey, look," you know. But just like a woman walked in his view, he didn't even like look at her view, but just walked in his view, and it was just like, wow, it's that point where you're that hyper, like the femininity is gone at that point. At some point, I feel like you're gonna have to go to a museum to see what a lady looks like. There's so many women with just so many feminine, or excuse me, masculine traits. It's like, dang, do you want to be a man? Like, want to be a man for real? You know.
Mm.
And the same thing for men. I said earlier, like with their homeboys, they're soft and they're understanding and all that, but then the woman don't get the same aspect. And I'm talking about the toxic side, not a good man and a good woman, but just kind of the opposing side. But the last straw for me is just when it starts to get to come to degrading. So if y'all are just pulling up, you're late. You have not missed much, but this is the season 5 finale, y'all. We will be back in April for the season premiere and also the 1 year anniversary, y'all, of being featured here on Tag. So make sure y'all pull up in April. We are gonna skip a week so I can have a little break to kind of come back and give y'all a really good show for the season premiere. So make sure y'all tap in. The 1st of April will be the 1 year anniversary of being featured. So make sure y'all tap in. Um, but you can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, aside from next week. We just discussed what traits would you consider to be masculine, feminine, where does toxic masculinity and toxic femininity come from, and the biggest reason for lower success rates in relationship, and lastly, what would be the last straw of toxicity from your partner. But now I want to look at the difference societally. 25 years after the release of the bestseller Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, the debate over how and why men and women are different and what that means for their role in society is far from settled. Other research finds that majorities of Americans say men and women are basically different in the way they express their feelings, their physical abilities, their personal interests, and their approach to parenting. But there is no public consensus on the origins of these differences. While women who perceive differences generally attribute them to societal expectations, men tend to point to biological differences. So I want to take a look inside and ask, what does it look like to support a man through a vulnerable experience or moments of weakness? And then would your answer change for a woman? What does it look like to support a man through a vulnerable experience or moments of weakness? What does that look like to support a man through a vulnerable experience or moments of weakness, first off?
Honestly, I feel like I'm more softer with my man than I am my homegirl. Like when it comes to my man, I feel like I'm supposed to be that softness, that calmness, that wither of the storm. Like when I look at a relationship, I look at the Hulk, right? If you look at the Hulk is angry, all this aggression. But the minute he sees that woman,
Mm.
everything calms down. He's able to cool down and go back into himself, into that peaceful place. So I feel like that's what a woman should be to her man, is a peaceful place for him to be able to release to. And yeah, so when I'm talking to my homegirls, it's like, girl, you got this. Now you come on, sis. We can do this. You want to go have a waiting to exhale moment, go put some stuff on fire. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? That's me talking to my homegirl. But when I'm talking to my man, it's more on the base like, baby, what do you think we can do together? How can we work through this? What can we make happen in order for you to get to where you feel you need to be, or just whatever the case may be. So I'm a lot more softer with my man than I would be with my homegirl, but I would still have the same outcome, if that makes sense. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
It
So
does. So I agree with Empress, but just to add on to what she was saying, for me to, if I'm in a relationship with a man, if he's in that state of vulnerability or weakness, I want him when I'm comforting him, I want him to be able to know that you can comfortably be in this state without having to feel like you're a weak person or you're weak minded, weak strength, whatever that is. They are entitled to be vulnerable in that moment. They're going through something. Something's going on. It's my job to make sure that you're okay. Let me comfort you, talk to you, go ahead and cry on my shoulder, please. Feel free to do so. Whatever you need to do to heal. You want to feel that you can come to your woman that way without having to feel like you're weak.
I was just looking at one of the comments. Face was saying, "Continue to be you as a woman, but understand we don't need you to fix it. We have to fix ourselves inside out. Just support us." And I feel like that is a part of support, to be
Mhm.
there for your man. Like, be
Yes.
that go-to, be that motivation, be that builder for your man. Like, we are supposed to be the ones that when that man is going through something or when it's something on his mind, no, we're not supposed to take the job over for him. That's going into our masculine energy. But as a feminine, we're supposed to be that pusher. You got this, babe. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. You got a partner here. Whatever we need to do to make it happen, speak that into that man, and that's going to motivate him to want to do it even more, not just for himself, but for those
Mhm.
around him and for those he know that care. So yeah, you're supposed to be able to enlighten your man with those words and that support. I agree.
Words of affirmation, definitely.
Won't he do it?
Not the one he
It's the
do
one
it.
you do it for me.
Take him to church right
Take
quick.
me to church.
Well,
Oh, I'm
No,
gonna give y'all a
no.
and then
tambourine next.
when yes, and then the organ plays. Yes.
So is it the opposite question for us? The other side?
Actually, no, no,
No, it would
it's
be the
not.
same. Yeah.
Y'all want to
That's
know
what I
what does it
thought.
look like to
Yeah,
support a
because
man through a vulnerable
I
experience
was
or
like,
moments
where
of
would I
weakness?
jump in at this? Because
Right.
No,
I don't
yeah.
know what
What
this
does that look
relate.
like to you? What is support? Okay, let me repeat the question. What does it look like to support a man through a vulnerable experience or moments of weakness? First off, what does that
To
look like?
me, it looks like you want to be there. It looks like you might ride or die. If I can come to you and open up to you without having to worry about what some women do, you throwing it back in my face a week later when you get mad I don't take out the trash. You know what I'm saying? Then that means you really care. You know what I'm saying? You really got my back. See, the Empress laughing because she know women like that. They be right there. Oh, baby, I love my job. I love my job. A week later, you ain't take out the trash. That's why you ain't got no job. See, see, you know what I'm saying? But if you there and like genuinely there, it means it to me. It means a lot. If I can open up to you, I can come to you, I can cry on your shoulder, and I ain't got to worry about in the back of my mind if there's gonna be backlash for this when I do something that you don't like or say something you don't like. That you gonna cut me. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it means a lot. It means you like really down to ride or die for me. Like I for real, for me.
Mm.
Nah, for me, most definitely. Just to piggyback up off y'all just a little bit. Um, like being in that vulnerable state as a black man, and you in like, and you supposed to have a woman. It's really harder on a man and like his ego and everything. Like, and that goes, the ego is without saying go with confidence, and so if he failed at doing something, then he got to come back and the household is not peaceful. Then, that's the issue. That's like the biggest issue, most definitely. But yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, I see you, Queen Sasha. It's got to be a point where somewhere it's got to be a safe space.
I gotta be able to
Mhm.
confine in you.
But
So,
that's on the cool. That's even for like just y'all as men talking to y'all homeboys too. Cause y'all there for y'all homeboys as well, just like we there for our
Yeah,
homegirls.
but
It's the same.
yeah,
It's
but
the same.
it's a difference though, because that's
Right.
what separate us from like the masculine and feminine energy. Me and G Way
Yes.
might say something when it's necessary about information, but women, they gonna talk and talk about their feelings, and women might not even know each other, another woman, but she gonna confide in her if she was going through an issue or whatever, whatever.
mhm.
Men don't do that.
Nah,
Men don't
not to
even
other
talk about
men.
like going to, we not calling each other to go out and say, hey, let's go out to get some females. We ain't doing that. If we was to go out, we was saying, hey, let's go out. You know what I'm saying? Like women, it's a little
No
different.
idea. I'm emotionally torn or I just lost my job. I just want to go out.
Yeah, that
You know
part.
what I'm saying?
Women go, you gonna know the whole backstory of what's going on. Come on, girl, you just need to go out Cause you going through all that. You know, men ain't doing that.
Right.
Only time men do that is
I'll
if
take
we
us to
just
the
broke
strip
up with
club.
somebody. If we just broke up with somebody and our friends didn't like them to begin with, that's the only time that happens. Yeah, you free. Come on, man. Yeah.
But
It's the only time that happens.
earlier in the chat, to answer,
Mhm.
uh, Queen Sasha had said, "Listen more than you speak, and don't use that against them in arguments or disagreements." And I wholeheartedly believe that, because the biggest thing for me is if I'm vulnerable with you and you use it against me later, I will never open up to you again. I will always be guarded in that way, and I will always be afraid to be fully vulnerable with you. You know, you want your partner to submit to you, especially as a woman, but you have to create a safe space. And the same for men, you have to create a safe space, like also, you know, you all touched on, create a safe space for them to allow themselves to be vulnerable, because it's hard, especially not just men but black men, to be vulnerable and to allow themselves to open up about things. Because even for me, like, to see that the first time I really seen men, and especially black men, open up was when Kobe died. I finally seen men started talking and started opening up and being vulnerable for the first time, and I can't tell ever really, to see that, you know. So to create a safe space, allow them to feel safe to open up about those things. But the other side of the question, would your answer change if it was if we were talking about the support for a woman? Would your answer change? What would be the difference? Would your answer change?
Is that for everybody or the men?
That's for everybody. Would your answer change if it to support, or to support a woman through a vulnerable experience or moment? What would be the difference and the change in how you would deal with a woman versus a man?
Yeah, I had touched on that earlier. Like my approach to things would be different. You know what I'm saying? I would be a lot more softer with my man, but the solution wouldn't change. At the end of the day, there has to be a resolution to whatever the issue is. So I would want to speak you through and guide you through and be that motivation to you. It's just that my ways of motivating my man is totally different from ways that I motivate my homegirl. Like that's just me. But I would still speak that light into each of them.
Same
Mm,
thing.
my delivery
You probably
probably would have been different in a sense, but my message still would have been the same. I feel that you need to go ahead and get that emotion out instead of holding it in. So I'm gonna have that safe place for you to do that. Go ahead and cry. Whatever you need to do. What are we gonna do to move forward and get, ourselves together? Same message, maybe just a little tweaking how I approach it.
Yeah, the approach would definitely be different. I would baby her, and instead of vice versa. She needs more words of affirmation. With fellas, we just want to know you there. You ain't really got to say much. You just give me your shoulder to lean on. With a female, I gotta give you the shoulder. I gotta let you know, you're beautiful. I gotta lift you up. Give you words of affirmation for you to feel stronger and feel like the queen that you are.
Mm.
That would be the only difference. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing.
I asked that just specifically just to see the difference in how, our approach to men issues is different from women, and probably where even the toxic masculinity might come into play, because, um, like I said, men are often left with no support, and so I think that creates, an unhealthy coping mechanisms, or um, we're kind of, even for women, unhealthy coping mechanisms, because if they don't have the support, they're automatically, like I said, going to be hyper independent, and just the way that, even in your relationships, how it can become like, if you don't feel like you're in a safe space, and to open up and feel vulnerable, that there's going to create that, the INDEP, that whole situation. When you're not being supported by your partner, I think it kind of creates those situations where it turns into something toxic, when you're not getting from your partner, or even from society, what you need as far as support. So if y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. You are definitely late. It's almost over. This is the season 5 finale, y'all. Next week we are coming, or excuse me, the first week of April, we'll be back for the season premiere, y'all.
There you
Sorry.
go. Who hit the
I
bell?
knew it was
Who
coming.
hit the bell?
Somebody
I
somebody
knew
caught
it
it.
was coming.
But then, which actually we will be coming back with part 2. Well, part 2. So make sure y'all tap in the beginning of April, y'all. But we are at my favorite part of the night. We just discussed what traits would you consider to be masculine and feminine, where does the toxic masculinity and toxic femininity come from, and the biggest reason for lower success rates in relationship, and then what would be the last straw of toxicity from your partner, and the differences between men and women. When you hear that sound, that means we are at our hot seat question segment, y'all. This is where I need all of y'all here in the audience. We are doing things a little different this season. Our hot seat question is now left up to the fate of the audience. I went to Instagram to ask our peers what they wanted to ask for this week's hot seat question. If you want your question to be featured on next week's episode, make sure that you go to my profile, click the icon, and follow me on Instagram, and look out for the hot seat question post. Now is the time to enter in the comments who on the panel, you, including myself and my co-host, who you want to answer tonight's question before I reveal it. So all of y'all there in the comments, I need to see all of y'all comment something. Let me know who you guys want to answer tonight's hot seat question.
Dun, dun, dun. Queen B. Jay. Oh, no, you didn't.
Queen B. You win.
I say Jen.
I know you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They said
Answer the
Jen
question.
Twin in the comments.
Jen Twin.
I know y'all are lying. We got Queen B, G-Way. We have like a 3-way Queen B. Oh, we got 3 Queen Bs. We got 3. Oh, we got 3. Oh, it's like a 3-way.
Destiny
you
don't count. She
strawberry.
already put it in there one time. Destiny don't
Oh,
count.
we got another. Oh, G-Way. Oh, King.
She ain't say my name. She said pick
Break the
somebody.
tie. We got a 3-way tie here, y'all. We need more of y'all in the comments. King. We got another King. We got another G-Way.
No, Pinky.
All of y'all. Well,
That ain't
it looks
right.
like we're all gonna have to answer this question, okay? So this week, Mr. Everything wrote in and asked, I want to know how toxic you are. Would you start an argument with your partner just to have toxic makeup sex? Would you?
Wait, who answering this?
Right. Who got it?
Anyway.
Would you or have you ever started an argument with your partner just to have toxic makeup sex?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a lot of energy, feminine energy and masculine energy that gets released in the gripping and grasping and thrusting amongst the toxicity. So at the end of the toxicness, we can come to a place of peace, joy, and tranquility. I answered that like a straight Muslim. Bean pie, my brother.
Oh man, I'm so done, yo. Wait, we wasn't all supposed to answer that, right? It was just supposed to be G-Way, right?
I mean, y'all can answer this, okay? We got time.
See, when I get picked, y'all want to sing it.
Would you or have you? You can even just answer yes or no, or if you don't want to answer, that's fine too.
I guess it depends on your definition of toxic at that moment. I just grabbed the Nerf gun and just started shooting and just started saying, "You ain't this. I don't like you. You left this. You left the light on all night. You left the toilet seat up. You did this." Just
see, fellas, that's that moment when you grab her by the legs and say, "Shut up."
Just nasty. Just nasty. Just nasty.
I think for me, maybe not that I would start an argument, but if I was already upset, you know, when you get those like, oh, I just want to do something to you, you know, you're already mad or something. But for the most part, if I'm mad at you, don't even touch me or look at me or breathe towards me, okay? For the most part. But I'm sure I have those moments where it's like, oh, I just want to, ooh, where you're just mad, you want to take it out on your frustrations on them when it's coming from another place, when the anger's coming from another place. But if it's coming from you, I probably don't even want to look at you. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even want to look at you right now.
Have I done this before? Yes. Do I take pride in it? I do not. But it was one time because I was a little deprived because we had been into it for like days, and I was like, "Oh my god, we can't keep doing this." So I started a little, and then I calmed it back down. I was like, you know what, we need to talk about this. I don't like this. Then we talked about it, and then it was over. So. I got what I wanted, not being toxic. Let me say that. I calmed it down and talked to him, got what I wanted. But yeah, I've done it before.
Not calm them down.
I had to, because like sometimes with that toxic energy just roaring like that, it'll make things worse. And you don't get what you want. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to meet a goal here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had to bring that back down from a 10 to a 2.
From a 10 to a 2. Well, I feel like King being real quiet over there.
No, I'm sucking up game. I mean,
I'm trying to figure out how to make
I got the new hot seat. You know,
this the new hot seat.
the new hot seat. It's the hot potato seat around this thing.
Hey, they asked the question. They entered the question into the. I just ask it, okay? I just ask it. I don't think I've ever started an argument necessarily. I don't feel like I've ever. Oh, she just went. It was gone.
Bloop, bloop. I mean, that's
Bloop.
me too, though. I ain't started one, and me personally, like, yeah, that ain't my cup of tea. Now, if it happens, it naturally and genuinely, then that's one thing. But then if it happens too much, then they're like, they could be like,
that's just a toxic relationship at that point.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Cause like I remember on his and hers we had asked like, is there a good toxic? Is there a good toxic? Because I've seen even like they showed in this video where they showed like this couple that was like getting at each other and then they all started just making out. You're like, what? How did you get there? How did we get there? But some people that's like their foreplay. Like to me, when I'm in a state of anger, like that's not. It's okay. Maybe sometimes it might be on my mind because you might be looking good when you yell when you're upset and I'm like, dang, you're looking kind of fine, or just make up sex in general. But to start an argument to get that, no, I don't. I feel like to start him. Who wants to go through strife to get to that? But I mean, it is makeup. Yeah, it is good, but I'm not going to start an argument to get it. You know what I mean?
That's what she said.
So if y'all are just pulling up, y'all, this is the Red Room Talk. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the season 5 finale, y'all. We will be back in the beginning of April for the season premiere and the first anniversary of being featured, the 1 year anniversary of being featured here on Tagged. So make sure y'all tap in the beginning of April. I'm thinking we're going to do a part 2 to this because there are so many aspects of this topic that we could talk about. Mm-hmm. Tonight's topic was toxic masculinity versus toxic femininity. Y'all are definitely late, but don't fret. You can find us every week on YouTube where you can find all the episodes. But I need y'all to go tap in, please, not now, but right now, go tap in and subscribe on YouTube so we can get those subscribers. But y'all can go on my profile, click that icon. But now I'd like to wrap up the show with a quote. We always come to this place of healing at the end of the show. And so I'm going to go ahead and say the quote, and then you guys can wrap up and give your outros and all that jazz. I just need to quit reading the comments. It is our duty as men and women to proceed as though the limits of our abilities do not exist. Pierre Teilhard Deschardin. Y'all, this has been the Red Room. This is the season 5 finale, y'all. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Bell Gang here in the building. Appreciate y'all for being here. So go ahead, y'all. Go ahead and give your outros and let us know what you got going on. And there is a limit. Yes. Go ahead and give y'all's outros. Let us know what you got going on in your lives. If you guys have any events coming up, any shows you guys got, and then we will go ahead and finish out.
Okay, well, again, I am Queen B Vibes. I don't have a streaming schedule, but you can catch me streaming randomly throughout the week. You got a better chance catching me on the weekends. That's when I'm mainly free. You'll see me again in some of your favorite streamers live in the box, in the comments, doing some of their shows. I'm a big supporter, so just catch me when you can. Catch a vibe. Jen, thank you for having me on the season finale of the Red Room Talk. I had fun. Do I have to leave the box?
Greetings, everybody. I am Empress J. You can catch me every day streaming. My streaming time is in my bio, so make sure that you tap in, hit me with the fave, I will fave back. I do have a feature show every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, called Living Holistic with Empress J. A show focused on teaching you how to heal yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and beyond. So make sure that you tap into that Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. I do have a live podcast with my big dog right here on the side of me, King of Diamonds, the round table, every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. No filter, raw and uncut. Okay. And this Wednesday and every other Wednesday, I do have an auction. Empress Holistic Auction is where I'm auctioning off all of my different pieces that I create, whether it's accessories, waist beads, whatever you can do with some beads and crystals, honey. I'm in it. So make sure that you tap in to see what you want to come and bid for. But other than that, Jen, thank you so much for having me on your season finale. You know I love you to the moon and back. Thank you.
That part. Shout out to the panel. One time, two times, three times. Everybody up in here in the comments. Shout out to the whole show. Shout out to see 5 seasons. In the books. Shout out to the Red Room Talk. But yeah, I don't know if Purpose still in here. Purpose got a show tomorrow, newly featured. I don't think they put the banner and all that up there yet, but yeah, she is on the way. Make sure y'all tap in with Purpose tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern time, Sundays. But yeah, I got a lot going on. As I said, make sure y'all hit me with the fave. Hit my Instagram up with the follow. Let's chop it up. Let's do it big. You know. And man, yeah, shout out to Empress J. Cause we doing our things on Friday. We gonna be back next Friday night. So make sure y'all tap in with us and all that there. And me and G Way, we got some stuff going on with Pitt. This one another new show we got going on Wednesday nights with Pitt. Make sure y'all tap in with us with Tales from the Hood. And yeah, man. We got a lot of content. Just get active. Let's go.
Mhm. That's what.
Definitely. If you don't know me, you can get to know me. It's your co-host G-Way No Way. You can catch me here every Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also catch me Monday, Hood Feud, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesdays is Cut the Beat. Wednesday, my lineup for Wednesday is we doing, like I said, my boy said, we doing Tales from the Hood with my twin Pity, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Starting in April, I will have the sports block back right behind that at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch me on Thursday on Getting Lit at 9 as well. And Friday, Battle of the Zodiacs banner coming soon, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure y'all look out for me. Hit the button, hit the fade button. Also, make sure y'all follow the YouTube. All my shows are getting put up on YouTube or already up there. So like, subscribe. I just want to take this time right now to bring out my femininity side and say I love y'all. I love everybody in this panel. The femininity side coming out right now. I love each and every one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love the Bell Gang. I love my Martians. Shout out my GQs, my Nepos.
Hey, look, I forgot. I forgot before I hop up out the box. Yeah, man, we got my new co-host. I see you in the comments, RDS, new co-host for our show. Spoiler alert. Man, tap in with us, hit me up, hit her up. If you want to get on our show, come see what it's about on Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern. You know, that's what we doing. But yeah, I'm out this thing though. Red Room Talk. Yeah, I'm out this thing.
So I'm Jen and Juice, y'all. I'm the host of this very show, y'all. This is the season 5 finale, y'all. Yet again, this is season 5 finale. Y'all can tap in the 1st of April for the not only the season premiere, but the 1-year anniversary of being featured here on the app. Thanks to all of y'all who are here and who continue to support the show. Without y'all, there would be no me. There would be no Red Room. So make sure y'all start tapping in every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and play my little ditty, and then y'all can do as you wish. Okay.
He's so silly.
All right. That's free.
Shout out to the Martians. I love y'all.
She froze.
What up, sound? Apollo Sounds Production. What up, sound?